What we wanted to do here tonight was have an informational session with the candidates so that everybody here could leave knowing who the candidates are and what they stand for on particular issues. How we started this process was folks in the community had 2 weeks to submit questions. Those questions then went to a selection committee, and they chose the questions to submit to the candidates. All of the candidates got their questions on Wednesday, and they've been informed about what the questions are and how long they have to answer each question. I'd like to do a couple of thank yous. A big thank you to everybody who submitted questions and folks who served on the question selection committee. Also to Daryl Morris, our moderator, for helping me along with this event. And for Breedin Productions, thank you guys very much for setting up sound, which is fantastic, right? Okay, I also wanted to take the opportunity to let folks know that there's flyers out front for the meet and greet and question and answer session that's going to be held next Saturday, the 26th, at the First National Bank Community Room. And that starts with light refreshments at 3 o'clock, and at 3:30 the program begins, and it goes until about 5:30. And so if you have additional questions that you do not get answered here, there's another opportunity for you to go get those questions answered before early voting starts. Now, without further ado, I would like to turn it over to our moderator, Daryl Morris.
Thank you, Tina. Just a couple quick rules for the candidates and for the audience. First, this is not a debate, nor is it a formal question and answer session from the community, nor for the candidates themselves. This is an informational forum designed to let the community know the candidates' stances on particular issues and concerns that have been submitted by the community. I will read the question once, then I say, Mr. Money, your response. I will say the time limit associated with that question, and then from there, I will move on to the next candidate, just simply saying, Mr. Jones, it is now your turn. I will not repeat the question. Should you need it repeated, simply ask it, and I will do so. Finally, you will have 30 seconds remaining that I will put up. 10 seconds, and then time. We're going to keep it going pretty quick so that we're not here all night. And then finally, for the audience and the candidates themselves, please be respectful. When the candidates are speaking, do not talk. This goes both sides. We will have Q&A sessions, as we stated, at a following time. With that said, the first question is for all of the candidates. It is for 2 minutes per candidate, and it is, please tell us about yourself, what office you are seeking, why you are seeking this specific office, and your qualifications to fill this office. Mr. Money, you have 2 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here this evening. And first of all, I want to thank we have so many this year, so many people who are willing to risk their position on the line, put it up on the line, but that's a good thing about America and about democracy. Whoever wins, whoever loses, they're telling their concerns, and I think that's a wonderful thing in our government, city of Smithville, and I applaud you. Question one was basically, tell me something about us. And I'm a lifelong resident of Smithville. I was born on Main Street in a clinic in 1955. My family this year celebrates the 135th year of the Bunties in Smithville. I'm seeking this office to finish several projects begin and several that will begin. In the area of qualifications, I've served this community for 37 years. 12 as a volunteer firefighter, and as a volunteer firefighter, community fundraiser, 17 years as a city council member, 8 of which serving as a mayor pro tem. I've served you now 8 years as your mayor. I was a past charter president of Optimus International in Smithville and one of 4 lieutenant governors for the South Central Texas region. This club expanded on the novel ideal of an individual in Smithville to begin the Little Rivers program in 1990. And I officiated 7 hours every Saturday for 8 years unpaid. I also refereed high school football and basketball all over the state of Texas, doing 2 high school all-star games, 3 regional tournaments, and retired at a 25-year career in 2005 after state championship game. I'm a member of St. Paul's Catholic Church, president of the parish council, a member of the Master Plan and Building Committee, and a 4th degree Knights of Columbus. Throughout this time, I've made many city, school, business, and political contacts. I've been to Washington, D.C. and Austin on my dime, working to get funding over and over for this community. Simply put, I love this community, and I am seeking this office for election for this town, and will continue to work hard physically and mentally to make it better. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Jones.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Ronald Jones. I'm seeking the office of mayor. I've been serving as a municipal court judge in Smithville for the past 8 years, which has given me the ability to observe our city operations and the challenges we face. My family has lived in this area since the 1800s, when my great-grandfather was brought here as a slave. My mother was a teacher at Smithville Independent School District for 35 years. Was the first certified special education teacher in Bastrop County and had a master's degree in education. I think she did the special education because she thought I was special. I hold a master's degree in administration and supervision, and my professional career has been in administration and leadership. I've been a vice president of Wiley College, assistant superintendent of schools in Conneaut, Texas, a case manager in the Federal Bureau of Prisons, and the state of Michigan, and also Bastrop County Juvenile Services. I, along with Judge Thompson, founded the Smithville Community Gardens. I'm chairman of the Smithville chairman of the board of deacons at Mount Pilgrim Baptist Church. I served on the planning and zoning committee. I'm also a coach for the Little Dribblers. The role of the mayor is defined by the Texas Municipal League and states that as political head of the city, the mayor is expected to provide the leadership necessary to keep it moving in the proper direction. The mayor's most important duty is to carry out the legislative responsibilities and share with other members of the council. Identify the needs of the city, develop programs to satisfy those needs, and evaluating the extent to which municipal services satisfactorily reflects on the policy and goals of the council. Most power exercised by the mayor are created through ordinances and resolutions adopted by the city council. Thank you.
Mr. Armour.
Good evening. Can everybody hear? I wanted to thank everybody for coming out tonight. If you don't vote for me, freedom's very important to me, and I appreciate everybody coming out to be part of the process, to have your say. I've lived in Smithville since 2000 with my wife Stacy, my daughter Amber, and my son Sydney. And when we moved here, whenever I retired from the Navy, we were looking for a place to call home. And that's what we found here in Smithville. And I want to be part of continuing to provide that, while at the same time Smithville has issues that we need to move forward with. And I believe you need to be part of the solution if you're going to complain about issues that face the city. I'm a graduate of Texas A&M University and St. Mary's School of Law. I currently work as an attorney for an energy company. And I think that if I'm allowed to be, if you elect me and allow me to move forward, I want to help out and improve the situation in Smithville. Part of the problems and things that we're facing here are things that everybody up here on both sides of me all want to move forward and improve. I think my background, I have experience in public works, business management, facilities construction, and operations and funding. I think I can use these as a city councilman to help find solutions for our problems.
Ms. Morgan.
I'm Joanna Morgan, and I'm running for my second term on Smithville City Council. I'd like to thank the Chamber for setting up this opportunity for all of us to come and speak to you tonight. I am not a Smithville native. Mike and I bought property outside of Smithville in 1989 as a weekend escape from Houston. We were in Houston our whole careers. He was with IBM, and I worked for several different companies, always in the information technology field. During our 10 years as weekenders, we fell in love with Smithville, and when we retired, there was no question that we would move here. In 2011, we sold our farm near Upton and moved into Emily Hewitt's garage apartment across the street from where we built our house in town. The next year, in 2012, Chachi Rodriguez decided not to run for re-election to City Council, and I filed in his place with his endorsement and support. I consider myself a community volunteer, not a politician, and Mike and I have both been active in the community since we moved here. I ran for City Council because I have a strong business background that includes experience managing budgets, projects, and people. I have worked in the construction, manufacturing, retail, and distribution industries, and in the public sector with Harris County. This position is one from which I believe I can make my most valuable contribution to the community, and I'm at a point in my life where I have the time and the desire to do so. I'm proud of my accomplishments that I've been part of during the past 2 years, and I hope to have an opportunity to continue to serve the citizens of Smithville on the City Council. Thank you very much.
Ms. Rayleigh.
I guess it's working. My name is Jean Rayleigh, and I am seeking City Council Place 4. I was born and raised in Missouri, but my parents moved to Elgin during World War II, so I spent my life hearing about how great Central Texas is. I was offered a chance to transfer to Houston with a company I was working for in St. Louis, the Wall Street Journal, and I grabbed it. So my kids and I packed up our little Plymouth Scamp and we went to Houston and never looked back. I worked for a while at the Journal. I put 10 years in there altogether, but I started my own cable TV construction company and moved to Austin. And when I did, I went to Rockney Bazaar, met that guy in the cowboy hat back there, and he and I married, and we've lived in the same house in Smithville now for 25 years. Last fall, I became involved in a program that was going on in Smithville that I did not think was good for the citizens, and so I started to research how the program came about, and I found that there had been no elections for any city office for the last 4 years. Now, that bothered me. I think y'all have a right to vote. I think you have a right to elections, and you have a right to choose a candidate of your choice. So that is why I decided to file for City Council. My qualifications, my strong commitment to responsible and transparent government. You have the right to know what's going on in your government. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gordon.
Hi, I'm Bill Gordon. I'm a candidate for Place 5 City Council. I like to think of myself as an older guy with new ideas, and of course my opponents are younger guys. I'm the son of Zerly and William Gordon. They were both teachers in the Smithville Independent School District for many, many years. A number of people here know my parents. I spent a great deal of my time here and graduated from Mary Brown in 1964 and earned a graduate degree in science in 1972. I worked in the high-tech semiconductor industry for over 30 years as an engineer, design engineer, as well as a manager of projects and design projects as well. And now I feel I'm at home. I'm seeking this office to effect managed change that results in more opportunity and prosperity for all of our citizens. I lived in Smithville during my formative years. During that time, Smithville was a vibrant, bustling, prosperous community. Many of you might remember those times. Fast forward to today, not so much. The state of the city is obvious to all who live here as well as to our many visitors. Our main street is merely a symptom of what is wrong. So, I think we must restore a sense of pride and economic opportunity for all who live here. I bring to this position an analytical approach to problem solving, and believe me, we have plenty of problems to be solved here. So I think that might be somewhat unique. After all, that's what engineers do. We solve problems. And in fact, sometimes we create problems. And as I said before, engineering is the bedrock of science and engineering. I also have access to extensive human and technical resources that can be used to guide us in our transition to a new Smithville. We must embrace these tools of technology, I believe, and use them in a prudent and wise manner to solve the many problems that confront our community. I accept the notion that technology is the main driver of our nation, and I think people like J.W. Breeden would agree with me. We have some unique things that are brought to this community by him as well. Your help, your input, your ideas, your participation will be the foundation for the transition to the new Smithville. I will listen to you and be your voice at City Hall. Thank you very much.
Mr. King.
Hi, my name is Charlie King. I'm a union sheet metal worker. I've been a union sheet metal worker for the past 20 years, so I'm a working man. I don't have no high dollar certificates saying I did something. But I've raised 6 children here in Smithville. And I still have one daughter. She's at home. She's a freshman at Smithville High School. And I'm seeking City Council Place 5. Oh, I'm nervous. And what I'd like to try to do is get more people involved with what's going on with the city as far as with the city council meetings and a lot of the meetings that are happening right now. I hadn't been going to meetings, and when some things came up in town that Miss Rayleigh was helping me with, I started getting more involved and noticing how things just went out in the open like they should be. And I said, we need to do something about making things more transparent. I do know that in order to make it more open, the city council and the school board use personal emails. They don't use City of Smithville emails or Smithville school emails. So when it comes to getting information through the Freedom of Information Act, you don't have any way of getting it because you don't control the server. So whatever they decide to hand you is what you're going to get. And if they would use City of Smithville emails, or the school would use the email system that they do for their board members, then we'd have access to that and be able to know what exactly is going on. There's a lot of small towns about the same size as ours that do use the city emails and the school emails, and I think that's something that needs to be implemented so that we can stay informed of what's going on.
Thank you. Mr. Saunders.
First, I would like to say thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for hosting this forum, and thank you to each of you in attendance tonight. Let's get the obvious thing out of the way first. Yes, I'm only 28 years old. I married my high school sweetheart, Leah, who was also born and raised in Smithville, and we are expecting our first child this September. I graduated from Smithville High School class of 2004 as a member of the National Honor Society. I graduated from Sam Houston State University in 2008 with a Bachelor of Science degree in Political Science and Business Administration. I'm a business owner and a member of the Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce, Smithville Noon Lions Club, W.J. Nixon Masonic Lodge, Smithville Volunteer Fire Department, and First Presbyterian Church of Smithville. I am humbly serving the citizens of Smithville on Place 5 of the City Council. This community and the citizens that live here are near and dear to my heart. From a very young age, I became interested in politics, and as I have grown, so has my passion to be involved. I have deep roots in this community and feel like I have a pretty good understanding about what our city wants and needs and how to get us there. I maintain an open door policy and am happy to hear from citizens in regards to any and all issues of concerns in this community. I am easily accessible as I am heavily involved in the community activities year-round. As a business owner of Farmers Insurance, I have opportunities to enhance my skills I am licensed in life, health, property, casualty, and business insurance, as well as peer mediation. I also hold financial securities licenses. I am also the National Legislative Director for the United Transportation Union Auxiliary, and during the 82nd Texas Legislative Session, I served as a Senate Assistant Sergeant at Arms. These positions helped me develop strong and positive relationships with our state and national representatives, making it possible to discuss municipal issues and regulations. This term has been one of growth, change, and progress, and shows no sign of slowing down. I ask for your vote May 10th. Thank you, Moderator Morris. If y'all want to clap for us after we're done, you can, because you're going to fall asleep out there. It makes us feel better whenever we're done with this.
Thank you, Mr. Saunders. Mr. Campbell.
Good evening. I'm going to state the obvious. I'm not 28 years old. I am Tay Campbell, and I'm running for Smithville ISD Place 1 on the school board. And just the quick answer as to why I'm running is because I have a lifelong passion in history of working with kids and families. It's been a theme throughout my life, and it's not something that I take lightly, and it's not something that I've just started. I've been doing it really my entire life. About 8 years ago, my wife and family and I moved to Smithville, Texas, and we did fall in love, just like all the other transplanted Smithvillians. And we have served ever since we've been here, whether it's been in our church, in our schools, in our community, whatever. And we continue to do so today, and plan on doing so for the rest of our lives. Now, to the pecan. Anyone who has spent time in a classroom knows that we all learn in different ways. I'm running for school board, so you're just going to have to roll with me. It's a different perspective. Most people do still learn either visually or tactily, and that means touchy-feely. When you came in, you were probably given a brochure and a pecan. That brochure, because of the time we're allotted, details the reasons that I'm running, my experience, and my background. But to summarize, I am a certified lifetime Texas teacher, and I did teach in the Texas public schools for 9 years. In addition, ever since I've gotten out of education, I've been continuously involved in the various aspects that you will see in that brochure. And then finally, I earned my master's in business administration, and today I work as a financial auditor for financial institutions. Wow, that was fast. All right, to wrap up, I believe my degree and functional expertise in both education and business finance make me the most uniquely qualified candidate for school board trustee, and I would appreciate your vote. As for the pecan, we'll get to that later. Thank you.
Mr. McKay.
My name's Steve McKay, and I'm running for Place 1 School Board in Smithville ISD. A little bit of my personal background. My wife and I, my wife of 32 years, we have 3 children, 2 school-age children, one who graduated from Smithville High School and is a junior at A&M. On a personal note as well, and you've heard it from not only the school board, but many of the council members, my parents are lifelong educators. My wife is a speech-language pathologist in the 17 years in the public schools. Once you're around education, it's pretty hard to leave it. It grabs you and holds on to you. I have always been active in education ever since I graduated from college. As far as qualifications for the office, I think I bring a couple of unique things. First of all, I'm a licensed CPA in the state of Texas. While in public accounting, one of my jobs was to audit school districts and other governmental entities. I'm extremely well versed in the governmental accounting policies that this school district uses and other school districts use as well. Additionally, this is not my first office that I've held. I've run for public office and held public office before. I know how boards operate. I know open meeting requirements. I know the things you can and cannot do on a school board in public office, and I have that background, and I can bring that to the school board. I've been on the school board for 3 years, so I know the language not only of our school board, but also of the Smithville community and the district as a whole. Additionally, to kind of wrap up on the qualification side, I also have served on many boards for for-profit entities and not-for-profit entities as well. Throughout my career, I currently sit on 3 boards of not public companies, but private companies, so I know how to operate as a board of director, and that's why I'm seeking the office.
Thank you. Ms. Rutherford.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Michelle Rutherford. I'm running for the office of School Board Trustee for Smithville ISD Place 1. My desire to serve Smithville ISD comes from a very personal place. Teachers and educators have always held a special place in my heart. They've had a lasting and profound effect in my life, and for that I'm very grateful. My qualifications: I'm a mom. I have 2 kids here in Smithville ISD. My son Liam is in 9th grade. My daughter Emily is in 1st grade. I'm a wife. I've been married for 21 years. Thank you, Bill, for putting up with me. I'm also a nurse. I am an RN for 16 years. I am the Director of Cardiac Rehab Services at St. Mark's. And right now I'm very aware that I'm in tachycardia. I've been a Smithville resident for 14 years, and we love it here, and we're looking forward to spending the rest of our lives here, or at least hopefully that'll be a very long time. One of the things I'm very proud about is that I am a founding and current board member of the Association of Citizens for Education, and if you're not aware of what that is, it's Smithville ISD's first ever education foundation. And the reason you may not have heard about that yet is because 3 of us moms from the district got together after the 2011 state budget cuts. Our schools were cut by $5.4 billion. That set a fire under some of us. We couldn't do much, but we could do a little. So we started an education foundation. Since we started, we've been able to give back thousands of dollars to our schools. And I'm very proud of the fact that we've started an art education program at Brown Primary, and I would be very honored to serve as school board trustee for Smithville ISD.
Thank you. Mr. Gutierrez.
Good evening. How are y'all tonight? Grant Gutierrez. Running for school board place 2, currently held by Michael Gertz. Fortunate enough to be the only unopposed race, but I showed up, so you'll have to listen to me. I'm married to Crystal Gutierrez, and I have 3 daughters, Arabella, Emmeline, and Penelope. And they're not here tonight. They're at Aggie Muster down the road in Rockney. We put that on every year and raising money for scholarships for some of our kids going A&M, so that's where they're at tonight. All 3 girls under the age of 8, so if you wonder why I'm running for school board, that's pretty much it. I care a lot about their education and what they're going to be able to do when they finish up here in Smithville. I'm currently employed at Blue Bonnet Electric Cooperative. I'm a CIO and controller there. It looks like you got 3 bean counters running for school board here. I'm also a CPA, graduate of Texas A&M, have my master's in accounting from there. Really, I'm running because I believe in public education. I care a lot about my kids. I care a lot about your kids. I want to see our kids from Smithville be very, very successful when they get through with their education here. And so that's why I'm running. I think my experience in the business field will lend well to this position. And I think it's taught me a lot of things about how to be fair and how to be objective and how to listen to folks and figure out what they were concerned about. So I appreciate your vote on May 10th. Thank you.
Thank you.